Everybody. Welcome to Inspitory again. Today we have with us Mr. Deepak Prabhu Matti. And he and I got to know each other in our previous working place. It's called as Cognizant Technology Solutions. Many of you know about CTS. And it was my privilege to work with Deepak. He led the outreach activities. And let me talk a little bit about Deepak today before we see his good smile and welcoming nature. Deepak has over 26 years of experience in his career. And out of those 26 years, over 10 years has gone into corporate social responsibility, CSR activities. And while he started with volunteering and kept doing his work full time and took some time off to think about the people who were less privileged, he started getting recognized for the leadership skills, and he started leading the global outreach activity on a global platform. It included over 200,000 people across 29 different countries. And there was a mechanism which was very interesting in recording people's hours put in apart from work into volunteering activities for the benefit of other people across countries. And Deepak has received a lot of accolades. He has been able to clock in with his team, including me, because I was part of the outreach activities, over 700,000 hours during his tenure as a global outreach lead. And I can see that more than, 3.4 million hours of volunteering had been clocked in the number of hours, and over 700,000 lives have been impacted because of those activities. Sorry, I got the number wrong before. And there are a lot of awards. Awards was not a big thing because we automatically found happiness. Deepak was a very good leader, and all of us who worked with him had that happiness to do well for the society. But Deepak's achievements in this was that when during this tenure, Cognizant received the #1 ranking on the Self for Society volunteering platform that was launched by the government of India in October 2018. And that saw the India CSR Award, then the UK and Europe Employment Engagement Award, and he was the Champion of Good, and also Microsoft Social Impact Award in Singapore, and several other countries got impacted because of the able leadership of the global outreach head, then Deepak Prabhu Matti. I welcome you, sir. I welcome you, Deepak.
Thank you very much, Reema. These awards and accolades that you cited are a result of the work that is put in by the volunteers in their respective communities. Thank you for reaching out to me earlier this week. I'm glad to be part of your YouTube channel, Inspitory.
Yeah, thank you. So today we will just talk about, how you started this journey. All of us just want to know, even if you want to do volunteering, different countries have different cultures, and we don't know where to start from. Of course, my parents always taught us that, the more you give, the more you get. So there also you think about getting. And so you might be thinking about, okay, if I have something to give, then let me give. But you first think about getting. But then, I have seen that because corporate, the MNCs and all came over in India, and then we had this social responsibility. Did the volunteering start from there, or does it start from home? How did your journey start on CSR?
Yeah, I think it was a Friday sometime in 2009, that was about 12 years ago. And it was almost like early evening when the then chief of corporate affairs in my previous organization, Cognizant,
Okay.
called me casually and said, "Hey, Deepak, what are you doing tomorrow, Saturday?" I said, "Nothing in particular. Why are you asking?" He said, "Why don't you join me? I'm going to visit an orphanage." And he mentioned an area in South Bangalore where he wanted me to come. So I went there. I didn't know why he had called me, but I knew that he had called me to an orphanage. And so we met up the next day on Saturday. And so it was an orphanage where there were probably about 40 to 50 children, perhaps in the age group of 5 to 15. And the orphanage was taken care by a lady in her probably early 50s who was blind in both eyes. And she was assisted by her husband and a son. So the three of them, but the majority of the administration of the orphanage was taken care by this lady who was blind. As we started conversing, I understood that the purpose of the visit was to evaluate how Cognizant could help this organization in terms of improving their infrastructure. So during the ensuing conversation, we got to know that they are, building a couple of additional rooms. They wanted a better reading environment for the children. So they were thinking of a library and a computer lab. So looking at the great work done and the need that was very visible in front of our eyes, we then came back to the office on Monday. And I discussed with that person, and we agreed that this is a worthy cause to support. So this is like my first foray into corporate social responsibility, where a company opens up its share of profits to help the underserved communities, right? And so we, ended up granting a small sum of money to this organization that will aid in building that library and the computer lab. So as a result of getting to know this family which was running the orphanage and the children, of course, one of the unforgettable things that I experienced on my first visit was a couple of children walking up to me, holding my hand, holding my leg, talking to me. I was hesitant to talk to them, but they were like, Anna, what's your name? Where do you live? And which company tag is this? And my company ID card was there, right? Lanyard. So they were asking all sorts of questions. So I was reserved, but they sort of made me open up. And over the next few months, as the library and the computer lab was taking shape, I was making periodical visits to see how the progress is. And then I sort of figured out, hey, okay, these conversations can, lead to more productive things. Then I started to ask the children, hey, bring your books. So children brought their English and math and books and so on. So that led to the thought process that, hey, can I spend some time here? An hour a week probably is more than sufficient. So I then started talking about it in the office to a group of colleagues. And so one thing led to other, and in no time, pretty much half a dozen to about 10 people were lining up at the orphanage every Saturday to teach the children, to practice arts and crafts with them and all of that. Improve their spoken English. Have these celebratory days like the Independence Day, Republic Day, and so on. So I realized that, giving money is one thing, that's a corporate social responsibility. But there's also this individual social responsibility. What are you as an individual, as a citizen doing in your community that can, that can improve the level of happiness, the level of their education and all of that. So that's my first foray really into volunteering sometime in 2009, 10, and then until now.
So at what stage in your life did you first know about volunteering? What stage were you in personally in your life at that time?
Pretty late, when I see my daughter volunteering during the school days, and it's intertwined as part of their curriculum. They'll have to do a project and so on. They volunteer as young as 15, 16, right? But I experienced volunteering when I was in my mid career, right? So when midlife crisis hit me like everybody else, when I say the midlife career crisis hit me, Everybody does their MBA, postgraduate diplomas, and so on, right?
Yeah.
I also signed up for a senior management program in Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then that was probably the stage also that I sort of started to experience volunteering.
Yeah.
And I felt that volunteering in a way helped me to an extent to overcome my midlife career crisis, because
Okay.
it helped me expand my network. It helped me improve my managerial capabilities by because because if you have to organize a volunteering activity, you'll have to work with different sets of people who have
Correct.
different etiquette, different cultures,
Correct.
different way of working styles, and so on. So
Hmm.
you'll have to assimilate them under a common project with a common goal, and then work towards it. Definitely, empathy and operating under constraints also
Yes.
come along. So,
That's right.
we generally talk about this, right? Wherein people sort of move away from volunteering as they grow older because they get into family responsibilities, their work responsibilities increase, and so on. But for me, it was the reverse. I started volunteering only when my responsibilities increased both on the family and the professional front.
Okay. Yes, I remember that you used to visit the Mangalore location, Cognizant Technologies, and used to come as a senior manager and used to have a separate cabin every time you visited. And we started talking together about the various volunteering activities. And the next few months, I see you leading the entire global outreach activities, and everyone in Cognizant knows about you, and I can see you on the video call in Singapore receiving and talking about CSR activities and all of that. One of the greatest challenges I have seen you overcome and do great is to take the baton from Archana. She was so good in, she had done so much already. And I was wondering, okay, how is Deepak going to be taking that baton and either sustaining or exceeding her standards? And yeah, in 10 years, global accolades and awards that we got, I could see that difference even in you as a person and your leadership capabilities. And people like me felt very inspired, and I also wanted to be able to go that way. And I realized for the first time, because of the discussions we'd had in Mangalore, that it's not just performance delivery and meeting all the targets and being too serious about life. It's also about anything you do it with passion, including volunteering. And if you really have that passion, it shows without any wanting to be able to get back anything. So that's what I saw as an example with your approach. Anybody could reach out to you. You were very busy in your schedule, but you were still down to earth wherever you traveled, and you met with people. So I started doing that myself. And when when you were leading the teams, I was able to connect with another person, Padmasni, in the UK, and she's another great leader. And we connected and just spoke about, okay, how are you doing the activities? How are we doing the activities? And when I came to Australia, Cognizant, I started seeing about how is the Australian culture in terms of volunteering and what we can do in terms of our corporate social responsibility and all of that. So I wanted to ask you, in all this journey, I understand that you met people and it has helped you in your career and the kind of you became a better person, you're saying, in volunteering. But what is the most rewarding thing in that particular stint that you've experienced in your life?
Uh, I would state the experience with teaching English to
Okay.
students of a rural village called Bogur, which is in Dharwad, that's in the north of Karnataka. So I was able to teach them English thanks to the eVidya Loka platform. So that's an NGO based in Bangalore, which enables people from all walks of life with the basic internet connection to be able to teach students in any part of India. So I took up this opportunity amidst my professional role to volunteer to teach English to the students of grade 5 and 6.
Okay.
Right. So while the English teaching was going on, we were ending the academic year sometime in late January. And then I was asked, hey, Deepak, there are three students from the group that you are teaching who are participating in a state level quiz competition. And that quiz competition was conducted by another IT services company. And there were students from all across Karnataka who were participating in the prelims, and certain finalists were invited to come to Bangalore for the final round. And I guess I probably thought I probably taught them for about 3 hours
Oh, okay.
over 2 days. I
Okay.
framed the questions. I asked my wife to frame some questions. It was on sports, famous personalities, world events,
Yeah.
culture, arts, and so on. Right.
Mhm.
So we picked up 7, 8 topics that were sure to be asked in the quiz competition. My wife prepared some questions. I prepared some questions, and
Okay.
I engaged them in Zoom calls, and then I prepared them basically. But then it was just 3 hours over 2 days, right? They got selected. They were selected as the finalists before I prepared them. So they one fine day in February they came to Bangalore, and then I wasn't sure that they had come to Bangalore and participated. I know they'll on some day come to Bangalore, and then I get a WhatsApp message saying that the team I coach has won the state level quiz competition, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
something that I was not expecting. There is a saying by Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, who runs the Art of Living, right?
Yes.
He said, expectation reduces joy, surprises enhances joy. So it was
Wow.
that moment for me where I was not expecting, because it was 3 hours coaching. How much can students perform was the thought process.
Yeah.
But they won thanks to probably their previous preparation and knowledge, and I just added a little bit more to what they already know.
No. Yeah.
So it was a bolt from the blue, a happy one though,
Okay.
and so. A couple of days later, they had their annual event. So this NGO conducts an annual event every year, where one of the items on the agenda was the award distribution to the students, and it was graced by none other than the legendary playback singer S.P. Balasubramaniam.
Yes. Oh my
So
gosh. Wow.
I ended up receiving the award at the hands of S.P.
SP
Balasubramaniam, along with
Balasubramanian.
so I was awarded the best teacher award,
Yeah.
and the students I coached won the quiz competition. So this was my most rewarding moment, where I felt that I think if you are true to what you want to help out with,
Yeah.
rewards will follow ultimately,
Follow.
right?
Exactly. Yes.
Well,
Exactly.
the students won an award. I won the best teacher award, which I was not anticipating. So it was a double joy.
Yeah, that's right. When you get to see that for some reason you had a right intent and you suddenly became a very good teacher, it's a nice surprise, pleasant surprise that it is effective. Yeah, that's a nice one. I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to other young people who just want to start off with volunteering and they're thinking about it?
Very simple. I think a lot of volunteers have this self-doubt. Will I be able
Yes.
to help?
Mm,
And there are a high percentage of people who sit on the fence and keep asking this question and never jump
take
the fence.
action. Yeah.
So my advice is, just jump in and get involved. And once you jump in, start looking for goals to set yourself,
Okay.
so that you can see the rewards of your volunteering at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Because unless you set that goal by which you are able to see the rewards of your volunteering
Mhm.
will tend to drop out at some point, saying, "What am I doing?" Right? But before all that, if you have the question, "Will I be able to help?" Just put that question aside and
Mhm.
then just jump in.
So you're saying don't wait for someone to come and say, "Can you help?"
Yeah.
You just have a goal that I'm going to help some people, and it may be children, or it may be, some empowering of women, or it could be maybe teaching, whatever we are good at. Just have a goal, and then go and work on it, and then just come back without any expectations.
Yeah, there are no dearth of opportunities, right? Opportunities are
Yeah.
all around you. I think you need to open your eyes, and then once you open your eyes, you will see those opportunities. That way, just jump in. Goal setting will follow later. Just jump in, experience, and so on. And to retain the momentum, you will have to figure out a goal setting relating to your volunteering. That will help you, take it as a marathon rather than as a sprint.
I was just seeing some of the cool things that people can do, and it could be in even volunteering or anything. So this question is particularly related to any part of your life. So I just wanted to ask you, what is the coolest thing that you have tried and done?
So right now, of course, due to my professional responsibilities, I was not able to sort of help an NGO scale up. We
Okay.
are always working with a lot of NGOs, but those
Right.
transactions were maybe, hey, provide us the volunteering opportunity. Can we design a volunteering opportunity? Okay, great. Let's get the volunteers involved, help
Yeah.
you out, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest thing and that I am doing right now is to informally advise an NGO to scale up. For now, I won't name the NGO, but it works in the space of early childhood care and education. But one of the new initiatives that they've started recently, or a new concept, is called the UR Cafe or
Mm-hmm.
Youth Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that, and they've piloted this in a few places.
Yes.
But the idea is that through this concept of a UR cafe or a youth cafe, they want to
Mm-hmm.
provide a sort of a safe space for underprivileged youth to have meaningful conversations. Right?
Okay.
This this could be in the area, in the place that they live. This could be in the place that they study, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
This is targeted typically at youth above 17, 18, going up till 22, 23, sort of a thing. So, like I said, they've piloted in a few places, but I am offering them help to scale it to about 400,000 youth who are studying in the various government colleges in Karnataka. And we hope to take it to the government as an idea and see how we can implement it. So for me, that's the coolest thing that I'm working on right now.
Okay, that's good. But I have seen that most of the activities which you mentioned are all in India. So there are a lot of people, now who is struggling because of the COVID situation, and you're helping the NGOs. So there is a formal approach that's always very good, because they have to follow the standards and have to, balance between what can be really done and what cannot be done, and everything is being accounted for, so that whatever time we put in is accounted. So it's good with the NGOs. But what would you suggest for, because after all this lockdown and all, it's one way or the other brought people together, and
Mhm.
everyone needs help in India, I have seen. What are the some of the tips you would give to people about volunteering, starting from home, society, or what is the need of the hour at the moment?
I think the need of the hour is to bring out your empathy factor outward. Uh, every human being definitely has a soft heart, has empathy inbuilt, right, as a human being. But then,
That's true.
due to various experiences in life, for
Yeah.
example, you may have not had a good experience with somebody who asked you for a donation,
Hmm.
and so you might have decided not to give any donation in the future, for that
Right.
particular bad experience, right?
Yes.
I think it's time to keep aside some of those prior or bad experiences and
Mhm.
be understanding towards another fellow human being. And
Right.
once you develop that mindset,
Mm.
it is when you will then see a lot of opportunities where you can help out somebody else.
Yes, I think it also comes with age. I have noticed that every year I become a little more and more considering about others. Sometimes because of the age we become really aggressive when we don't
Yeah.
get what we want or the expectations are not met. You get angry that you're not able to do it. You wonder how other people are able to do it. It happened to me, and what you said, I'm able to relate it very well. Uh, and I realized that the key is to just be kind. Sometimes,
Yeah.
there can be a person who might get angry and might just stop you from going and helping. And now, I just don't bother. I say it's all right, and I'm just kind. In Australia, for example, we have appointments and we strictly follow the timings. And there was a person who had to do some renovations, and the person didn't turn up the first time, and I thought, oh my god, this is happening. And there was absolutely a reason, a very vague reason, and it was actually not acceptable, but I just kept quiet. It was not just that I had to get my work done, but on the other side, I just thought, let me just be kind, it's okay. And then the second time there was another reason, the third time another reason, the fourth time. And every time, 15 minutes in advance to the appointment, when I'm all ready and I've kept my time aside, and it's always after working hours, so you're actually tired at the end of the day, and it's winter, and you still go and keep some time up.
Mhm.
And still, when you have these appointments, the chances try to kind of give up. But there was an instance where I went ahead and for the eighth time, that person showed up. And finally, I went ahead and signed that contract with him, because the day he showed up, I'd already made up in my mind, I'm not going to go with this person. If he doesn't even keep up to the first appointment, I doubt my work will get done. But I just wanted to be kind. So deep in my mind, I was like, oh my God, I'm just wasting my time, but I'm just trying to respect him. I hope he understands. And this person comes up, he takes the coat, he genuinely has a splint being put on his wrist, on his hand. And I saw it and I asked him what happened. He didn't talk much about it. He just said that it's hard to do physical work when your health itself is kind of giving way. And people who understand will be able to get it. People who don't understand, it's just very formal. They have coats, and I just have to do my work, and I don't know how to get it done. And then the renovation started taking place, and yeah, one or two times he still didn't turn up, but I went and put my own hand into it, and I started involving myself, and I learned so much. He taught me so much with the renovations. It was all done. It gave me double the value after the renovation was completed. There was a big learning experience. And he was saying there are very few people like you who can be empathetic. And I was thinking, at that time, oh my God, I think, I don't know where I got that patience from. I think it's just the aging. And probably it's the prior experience of, learning. And, but just a small, thought process of being kind and putting some effort to it, even if it doesn't make any sense, can lead to something great.
Yeah.
So now, whoever is uh, getting angry with me, I'm still not there, but whoever gets angry with me, and I try my best to just calm down, and I think from their angle. So being empathetic is a really great skill. Still, I feel it takes
Yeah.
time and aging to be at that level, I think.
Yeah. And that's where, personally, for me, volunteering and interacting with a host of colleagues across the world has
Hmm.
given that experience of different mindsets, different culture,
Yeah.
Different pressures they are under. They have their own stress levels that you need to respect. And yeah, a simple thank you and a hello does
Yeah.
wonder to
Hmm.
be to join forces for the society.
That's right. So this it's now time for our fast fire round, and so we'll start with the fast fire round, and
Okay.
the fast fire round is all about answering in one question, or it starts with one word or one sentence.
Okay.
So let's try and keep it as short as possible and see how it can still be meaningful. So,
Sure.
where is your happy place?
Home.
Okay. What do you do to have fun?
Chai pe charcha with friends.
Okay. Who inspires you and why?
No specific individual. Literally everybody who achieves so much in spite of various constraints.
Okay. And what is your secret talent?
Photography.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that. What do you want to tell other people in their lives?
This I want to tell other people to take care of their parents as best as they can, because I'm seeing a lot of elderly not being with their families and leading very depressing lives.
That is absolutely true. I see that, we might be trying to arrange our parents to be in their own homes or putting them in aged care and all of that, but especially during this COVID time, lockdown, and all of that, every person in different stage in our lives are having a challenge. And how we overcome that is all based on social connection. um, every member of the family feels so happy when we are connected. It's not that we're in some major trouble or something like that, and earlier we didn't care. But I think uh, this is now the time to be more connected than ever. And thank you for reminding us to be able to connect with our parents, and whoever is away in the family. It's nice to be connected. So thank you for that message. If you could snap your fingers and become an expert in something, what would that be?
Cooking exotic food and serving to my daughter every day.
Wow, is that like a return gift because she's doing that for you?
No, she sends me this Instagram videos once in a while and says, "When are we cooking this sort of a thing?" So she loves continental cuisine, and I mean, she loves anything which is not Indian, which is not easy to prepare, right? So we'll have to go to restaurant, and you can't
Yeah,
go to restaurants every day, right?
yeah.
The amount of visits to restaurants has increased in the recent past. The takeaways that you order and so on. But it would be lovely to cook such exotic food.
Food. Yeah. So recently we moved to a new house, and I've been cooking all different foods, but my daughter loves experimenting in the kitchen. And for some reason, her food is becoming really good. She learns baking. And
Oh,
this morning she said, Mama, I'm going to make puffs. And I said,
yeah.
Oh, in India we just buy ready-made. And she said, No, I'm going to make egg puff. And
Mhm.
I didn't know you get this item in Australian grocery stores here. I mean, we get everything here, but I didn't know it. And she took me to the grocery store, and she brought those thin sheets where you can actually go and bake it, and you can put your own filling and make the puffs. So for the first time, she put all those peas and ingredients, and she made the masala, Indian masala,
Oh,
and put it in those sheets the Australian way. And then she added the boiled egg, half of the boiled egg. And of course, YouTube educates them a lot. But I love the
yeah.
way that you can experiment and try new variety at home when you are now doing everything work from home, homeschooling, and all these things. Cooking is becoming a nice thing.
Yeah. By the way, MasterChef Australia is very popular in India.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So, what thing would you recommend everyone tries at least once?
I would say snorkeling,
Snorkeling. Yeah. Okay.
because the amount of colors and the life underwater that you see is truly magical.
It's a different world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Underwater.
Yeah.
Where had you been to snorkeling?
It was Andaman and Nicobar Islands
Oh,
for
wow.
my honeymoon. That was like 22 years ago.
Okay, oh my God, 22 years, and after that you've not been in the ocean after that.
No, no, maybe in Bali I tried also, but it was not
Yeah,
snorkeling. But they give you this helmet,
yeah,
glass
and
helmet
just
kind of.
dive in. Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So that's the what is it called as? Just walking underwater or something they
Yeah,
say.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So they take you somewhere and then you slowly get down from a ladder attached to the edge of the boat,
Yes.
and there's a bridge that you can use to hold yourself steady, and then you walk around for probably
Walking.
about
Yeah.
5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, and then you get back onto the boat.
Oh, okay. Because Bali is one of the main destinations for holidays for Australians, and you
Ah,
will see everyone in Bali when you visit, you'll see, or most of them are Australians, and we have holidays there for long periods of time. You know, sometimes months, sometimes years, and then it's a nice place. After
yeah,
the exploring is done, then people come back to Australia. So it's a very close place to Australian explorers.
yeah.
So, what is your best place of advice you've received, and who was it from?
It was from my wife, who always says, "What goes around comes around." I mean, it's
Okay.
so it's her way of sort of maybe de-stressing over certain experiences. So, for example, if if you did good, you will get back good, right? Or if somebody did something not so pleasant to you, the person will have an unpleasant experience himself or herself on some other day or
So,
some
like
other week.
karma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like so it sort of also I mean, beside the saying and all that, I think it's a stress buster to the extent that you let go, right? You
Yes.
don't talk about what has happened to you or things like that, and you maybe become a little calmer and take things easy, and let's see what happens. It's okay, kind of.
Okay, yeah. That's all I think we have. And thank you. I kept looking at, what questions I have because I was so engrossed with your experiences. There's so much to learn, every time I catch up with you. So, all those people who are listening to this chat and who are viewing this chat, I hope they have a good time and can learn something and can be inspired. And we'll remember to do something good every day because Akshay Kumar, the actor in India, once was asked, um, how do you manage your busy schedule in gymming, because he had advised and he had mentioned to the crowd that if you cannot spend 1 hour for your body and taking care of your health, then that day is a waste. So somebody had asked, is that still your advice? And he said, I wanted to add the point number two there, a second thing. In those number of hours, 1 hour definitely for your body, and so that you're refreshed and you do something. But that is an investment for yourself. But what do you give? 1 hour, if you can use to concentrate on giving back to the people around you and giving to others, then that's your entire life's worth. So
Hmm.
you invest and your output. So that's what he had mentioned in one of the interviews, and it struck for your time. And thank you for all the lovely key messaging in this chat. Is there any other thing that you'd like to share before we sign off?
Again, I would probably reiterate the point that there's so many opportunities around you to help a member of your community. It just requires you to open your eyes and bring out that empathy factor,
Mhm.
and everyone can do a lot more. So
Yeah,
that's about it. Thank you, Rima, for hosting me on your channel. Again, it was great catching up with you. Lovely
thank
to
you.
talk to you as always.
Thank you so much. I'll connect with you offline. Thank you so much for this chat.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Bye.